God. I believe.
Or even God, higher, something above us.
So above, I don't know. I think we are it. So I believe that there's nothing separate from us. I believe we are the whole thing. Even the devil, we consider bad, it's part of that one thing. So even if there's a God and a devil, I believe that whatever made those two is the same thing that we are. It's all one thing. The more you keep zooming out, it's just one. You get me? Like it's there's never gonna be two separate things. You get me? So
Yeah.
even if there's a creator and a creation, I believe it's the same thing, intertwining with itself. If that makes any sense. It's like, yeah, it's confusing.
So the thing with me is like first, how do you believe that we got here though? Like, do you believe in what's that called?
Evolution.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. I think everything is God. I think it's like nature, you know, or like I think like an atom in your body is probably asking the atom next to it, like, hey man, do you believe in something bigger? And it's like, bro, chill out. You can't even chill the fuck out. You know, you can't even fathom that. Or like two video game characters like look at each other like, hey, you believe there's a creator? It's like we need a creator. We are made of the same code. It's all the same pixels. If that makes any sense.
Can you imagine two nature characters and like imagine that we're a video game? Like, you know how we say sometimes that our life is a simulation?
There's a meme like that. It's like Sims, and they're all sitting there, and it's like, oh, you're not gonna believe this, but I think we're in a simulation, and the other people are like, look at this guy.
That's trippy.
Yeah, bro. I believe something like that. Then I don't think that there's individuals. So like people say soul. You know, I used to believe in the soul, and it comes into your body and you're separate. But then, where is my soul sitting right now? It's sitting here on the earth. So then it dies, and where's it go? It goes somewhere else, maybe. But even that other place is part of this. Like, it's all just one thing. I don't see it being separate from each other. It can't be, really. Like, even the video game is not separate from our reality. It is our reality. It's part of our reality.
Yeah.
So even the video game is God. Even the piece of shit on the floor outside is God. Even Joe Biden is God. Even it's all part of nature. The same way we perceive shit as bad, it stinks and all that. You need shit to grow flowers. It's all necessary. It's all happening. They're just the same atoms. You know, you eat an apple full of atoms, which is just energy. You eat that, it digests, it does whatever it has to do, and then you shit it out. It turns into shit. And literally, an apple turns into shit. Yeah. And it goes into the earth, and that earth turns into a tree that grows another apple, and they're just atoms that are just vibrating together.
That's another thing. Is like the world is created so perfectly. It's kind of mind blowing. Like it's
super perfect, bro. It's all one. That's why I think it's just one beautiful creation, creation. Like I just think my mind can't ever imagine what it really is. Like, there's no. When you get the concepts, like I said about religion, like it's a great concept. You know, that there's a guy or whatever, right? A thing that created the whole thing and is watching us, and we're the children. And it's a good story, you know, because I think it makes sense as a story, but I think it's way beyond we could ever even put into words. You know what I mean? Because the words are still within the creation that we're trying to explain. Like it just doesn't. It seems impossible to me. I don't know. I've gone through a million different. I've been religious. I've been all that shit. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this conversation going forever, bro. You know, like this conversation go forever, like the ocean, and like there's so many things that's just crazy. Like you said, like it's too much for us to even fathom. Like
that's what I think. You know, now whether something originally made it, maybe, but even if something made it, we are made of the same. So let's say God, there's a man or a thing or whatever that gets a bunch of atoms. He's like, all right, I'm gonna fucking build this earth. Boom. He builds the earth with all the humans and everything perfect out of atoms. What is he made out of? He's probably made out of atoms, right? Like, it can't be separate. It can't be different.
Yeah, that's where did he come from?
And then where did he come from? And that can come from just one thing, you know what I mean? Now, you like I say with hot and cold. There's hot and cold, but ultimately it's really just temperature. Now we perceive it as good and bad, negative and positive, hot and cold, up and down. But it's really just temperature. You feel me? Same thing as we perceive as devil and God. It's really just this. You feel me? Life, whatever the fuck this is. So I think everything is God. That's what I believe today.
When I saw the video, like when you were saying it, like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Bro. Like you're right, like it just works. And like you said, whether it's for us with Christianity or whether it's the people, you know, with like the Muslims, and it works for them. You know, like it's kind of crazy.
It's like we're all different organs of the body. You feel me? Like Muslims are the fucking stomach. You know, America is the brain. Whatever, Africa is the heart, who knows? You know, but we're all different pieces and we have different functions. And that's why we have different beliefs and we act different and we have different, you know, we perform different actions and shit like that because we are different. We have different purposes in the body of God. That's the way I see it. And the same way that, like, you know, how right now with the whole Jew conversation and Jews, like, why do they own everything? Why are they so good with money? Why are they this? Well, maybe they're the brain, you know, or whatever, of God. You feel me? And it's not to fight with the brain. The heart shouldn't fight with the brain. It should dance with the brain. You know, it has to flow together. And I think that's
you do
what
your part, I do my part.
Even the dickheads that we disagree with, you know, Joe Biden's and all these fucking dumbasses, they're still a part of it.
No,
they're the asshole. Joe Biden is the asshole of God's body.
It's like as like a business owner, how we say, like, oh, like, I think we need employees. Now, everyone can't be the business owner. Like, everyone needs employees. We need the people that work at McDonald's. Like, it's like you say, you play your part, you do your position, and we flow together. You know.
Imagine we didn't have like janitors.
No. Is that life would end.
This shit would die.
Yeah.
Life would die.
You wouldn't be able to maintain anything. Like,
if we didn't have the lions that eat the gazelle, this shit would get crazy. If we didn't have every single piece of shit, or if we didn't have cockroaches, we wouldn't exist.
that's what I'm saying. It's so perfectly like,
It's all perfect. It's just too perfect to explain. You can't explain it. Now, yeah, I would like to think that there's like something, you know, fucking doing all that, you know, but maybe I just think it's way too beyond. Way too.
I agree with you for sure.
I posted another video that day that chick, I know you saw it, reflects. And she's so fucking good, bro. Because Ariana reflects. She's super enlightened, bro. This girl is just like, bro, you just see her in awe. She's always like just smiling, moving around. Like, and a lot of enlightened people are like that because they appreciate their flow and everything. So even the bad and the negative is just, bro, it's like the rain. Like, what happens if we walk outside and it's raining? We're gonna close the door and be like, oh my God, you gotta stay inside. Like, no, you're gonna get a fucking umbrella. Or you're gonna jog to your car, and who cares? That's flowing with it instead of like fighting it.
It's so funny because sometimes you see those type of people, and you kind of like envy them, right? Yeah, of course. Because you're like, fuck, this guy seems like he's really at peace, like, or really just like he's no matter what, he's chilling, like he's good. He's like I said, yeah, he's really at peace, like he's good,
No matter what.
no matter exactly.
So that's like, is not fighting with this thing. We realize that it's all God, and that's why we fight. If you really think about that, oh, and it's tough, bro, because I fight this shit all the time, bro. It's really rough. I'm fighting with myself, I'm fighting with people, I'm fighting with concepts, but then I gotta kind of like zoom out a little bit and realize like, oh fuck, I'm an idiot. I'm fighting with God, man.
I think that's part of it too, bro. Life is us in that battle, like with ourselves mentally, like what's going on, what's going on. Are we looking for anything, or like what's, you know?
Yeah, maybe that's also necessary.
No, I think just to find your purpose and all that stuff, I think it is, bro.
And I think that we can't even find our purpose. I think we are already doing our purpose. We just can't even imagine what the purpose is. Because like think about it, like
Sugar is so deep,
the
bro.
homeless guy outside, you feel me? Like he sat there for 20 years of his life drinking beer, asking people for $1. As much as like he annoyed a bunch of people, he also changed a lot of people's perspectives. He made people smile a lot. Like all these things that the guy that we walked by and we never thought had a purpose in his life, that guy affected his whole area.
No, like how many people saw him and were like, bro, you know what? I need to be grateful.
Exactly.
I couldn't shut the fuck up. Like,
Just even that, one person feels that way, you're already, that's your purpose. That was your purpose right there. And that guy has no idea. He's like, I'm a piece of shit. I'm just an alcoholic. I have no purpose here. Like, you just can't fathom your
you
purpose.
just saved that guy from who knows what or whatever. Like,
That guy was about to have a drink and he's like, I don't want to end up like this homeless guy. It's fucked up, but it's true. Like, I just don't think that you could fathom your purpose. But it's already happening regardless. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You might think you're on the wrong path or whatever. It's only because you have a concept of good and bad in your mind. So you think good is like being a millionaire and, you know, having a wife and kids or successful, whatever it is we think it is. Everybody has a different idea of that. But if we don't have one of those things, we think we're not doing good. We don't think that we're fulfilling our purpose because we're missing something.
I think that's the worst. That's the worst thing social media did. It's now people compare, and I'm this age, and I don't have this, and all my friends are getting married, or at my age, these people are graduating, I had a career, got making 100 grand, like whatever. You're constantly comparing, like constantly. And it's like now you're leveling your like what you think success is to your age group or whatever the fuck you follow, you know? Like
It's literally like that.
to me, that's like the worst thing that social media did.
Sure, man. And they got little girls and little boys like, you know, living up to this ideal that doesn't really exist. It's created, it's fabricated. And now if they don't have that, they're not happy. And they're not, you know, fulfilling their purpose.
They're not good enough.
They're not good enough, but it's, they don't realize that that's just not their path. That is not your path, bro.
Like, bro,
It is what it
even
is.
worse, bro. Like, and you're saying kids, like, there's people our age that still think like that. Still think like their life like not revolves around that, but they base their life or with like success off that, and they're our age or older or whatever. Like, that's the crazy part.
That is fucked up.
I think it's very few people, or like a very low percentage of people that don't care or like they don't care enough to let them affect them or change their route or change their, you know.
It is very true, man. And there's times that I'll get caught up in it.
Yeah, no, that's no.
I want a new, you know, a new business idea. I want to create this. I want to do this or whatever it is. But I want to go to fucking, you know, spend a month vacationing and it's not because I think that that's what should happen. I don't think I think that way. At least, you know what I mean? So I want to break it down more, maybe, but I don't think so. I think I just really want to experience more of this earth or something like that. But I think, yeah, man, I think it's fucking up a lot of vulnerable people that don't know shit, haven't explored themselves and realize why they do certain things, or whatever, which we'll never really know. Like, you don't know why you want to fucking do something.
Yeah.
You could rationalize it all you want, but you really have no idea where that thought even comes from. Because where does your thought come from? It's the same place that my thought comes from. It's the same place. It's like I always say about like free will and shit. We think that we're this lone being, as separate from this world. But how? How is that even possible? It's like a leaf thinking that he's separate from this world. Or like a monkey. Like if you see a group of monkeys, you don't think like, oh, that's James, that's David, that's a special one right there. You know, that guy really changed the world. It's a fucking group of monkeys, bro. But this group of monkeys thinks we're so special, bro. We are so special, bro. Fuck everybody else. I'm the one.
No, and they have their own thing. Like they're, like you say, yeah, they could be there in that group. They're the fucking the man, or they're like,
Yeah. Like an ant pile, bro. You see an ant pile and you don't think like, oh, that ant pile right there, yeah, that's the guy. No, you fucking walk right by it. You're like, fuck that ant pile.
and for a while, and they've been working like 10 years straight building the biggest ant
I'm
pile.
the most successful of my ant pile. You know, that's how people think now. In real life, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Right now, I could fucking leave my whole family and move to fucking Bali. And yeah, you know, a couple hundred people might be like, that guy's a piece of shit, you know, whatever. And then in 5 years, nobody ever thinks about me again and it doesn't even matter. And it's gone, it's over. It drifts away. And that's it. The world keeps going, bro. Exactly the way it's gonna go. But we have this ego of like, no, I gotta be like all stiff and fucking. Bro, you don't gotta do shit, bro. You don't have to do anything. You go outside right now and bust your ass in front of 1 million people and get back up and keep walking. And then the life is just gonna keep going. Maybe a couple people in their head are, oh yeah, keep going. Doesn't matter, bro. None of this shit matters. But we put so much bullshit significance on every move. And that's where like discipline and flow gets tricky because you start thinking like, no, I have to wake up at 6 and I gotta do this and I have to do that. And like you don't have to do anything. Now it makes you feel better and shit like that, whatever. That's fine, do it. You don't have to. Just know you don't have to.
But that goes back to what we always talk about. Like I feel like it's crazy how important it is to like how you're raised, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like and how you think. Like bro, I think the older I get, the more I realize how fucking important that is, bro. Like I'm so grateful for how I was raised and the way like how I think and whatever. Like the older I get, the more I realize, bro, that's fucking important, bro.
And the super important is just based off of like, and it's not important, but it is. Like when you zoom in to the character, it's super important, you know. And if we're controlling our whole environment, why not, you know, control the environment of this new generation? That's what I believe. I believe like we were talking about it with my boy the other day. He's like, why didn't know about these conspiracies? Why does that even matter? And I'm like, look, it doesn't matter at all. But I'll tell you right now, and Candy showed me that too. Bro, but you care too much about some of this shit. And I'm like, look, I know I shouldn't. But then again, if I didn't care, you'd have fucking 4 vaccines. Our kids would be thrown off into public school. We wouldn't give a fuck. They'd be listening to fucking Cardi B and all this crazy shit. And what, you think that would have been a better life? You know, like little things like that make a big difference. That, yeah, I had to stress a bunch of shit at one point in my life. And all it is for the greater good, right? Which, who knows what the greater good is. But in my eyes, that's what the greater good is from this perspective. And our purpose here is to like mold the next generation and reproduce and mold these people and shit like that. And that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Now, I might be absolutely wrong. Maybe I get to a point in my life that I'm like, wow, I should have let my, you know, kids be fucking non-binary. I don't know. You feel me? I should have got all the vaccines and shit.
And that's the crazy part, because like for some things you're like, oh, don't overthink, but for some stuff you're like, okay, you have to really think about it.
But only when necessary. And that's the hardest part. It's like you never know when it's necessary. It's both. It's like don't think, but also think. Yeah, that's weird, bro. Life is a paradox, bro. That's what I really believe. That everything has its good and bad. Everything is temperature that has hot and cold.
And that's why I'm
escaping it.
That's why I used to tell you that sometimes you see those people are like enlightened and we're like we're jealous because you're like really at the end of the day if you're at that like thing like yo man, it never really matters what thing or for what it is or for who. No, like they don't give a fuck. Like they're at that point where it's like, oh, it is what it is. Like life is life. And
it's fun. That's what she says all the time. Life is life. She literally says that. It's crazy. That girl that I'm telling you, Ariana, says I just posted a video. She's like, nothing makes sense. Like nothing makes sense. Really think about that. Like all of this is just happening, and you can't put your finger on none of it.
Yeah.
We could act like, oh yeah, that's happening. That flame is doing this because this. Yeah, fucking cool, bro. But in a few years, the scientists are gonna come and disprove that, bro. You know what I mean? And
that's true too. Like how many times have they gone, no, we were wrong.
It's always happened.
No, we were wrong.
None of it stays right, bro. You feel me? It always keeps evolving, that is. You know, even Einstein, the theory of relativity is being disproven right now. And that is like the biggest breakthrough in fucking human history. And right now, there's another guy, Weinstein, that is literally fucking adding to that. I don't want to say disproving, but he's adding to that concept. At one point that they thought Einstein was, you know, he was the end all. He knew everything. That's it. And now we've come, you know, 60 years later to be like, nah, that was bullshit. Come on, man. Well, we're here walking around thinking every new discovery is absolute. Oh, that's absolute. That's absolute. Like, nigga, nothing is absolute.
We're taught in school our whole life that X, Y, Z.
Exactly. The only thing I can think is like pretty fucking close to absolute is math.
What?
Math. I think that's the closest to absolute because it seems pretty unchangeable. It's the only thing. And I might be even wrong about that.